Welcome to the lecture series on multi-threading in Java. I am Vishnu Shakti, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, RMD Engineering College. A thread is a lightweight process. It refers to the direction or flow of path in a program. It refers to the path of execution in a program. And multi-threading is a process of executing multiple threads simultaneously in a Java program for the maximum utilization of CPU. It is a sequential flow of control within a program. There are two ways of creating thread in Java. First is by extending the thread class, and next is by implementing a runnable interface. The commonly used thread classes are thread, thread with a string name, and thread with a runnable and string name. The start method starts the execution of the thread, and run is used to perform action for a thread. Join waits for a thread to die. And get priority and set priority are the built-in methods that can assign priorities for a thread. In the same way, get name and set name are the methods that are used for returning the name of a thread and setting a name of a thread. So there are various built-in methods for creation and working of threads in Java. As said in the previous slide, there are various constructors and built-in methods for creating of a thread and running a thread. As said, you can see that the built-in constructors provides for working on thread, implementing a thread, creation of thread and running of thread. So some methods that was discussed in the previous slide was run method, start method. Run is used to perform action of a thread, and start method starts execution of a thread. Sleep method is used for executing a thread to a sleep for a specified number of milliseconds. In the same way, get ID returns the ID of a thread. Suspends the execution of a thread, and is daemon. This is a method to test if a thread is a daemon thread. As said in the previous slide, there are two ways to create a thread in Java: by extending the thread class and by implementing the runnable interface. The thread class provides constructors and methods to perform various operations on the thread. So some methods and constructors that was said in the previous slide was run method, and which is used to perform action of a thread. Start method to start the execution of the thread. So here a thread is created by using or extending the thread class, and run method starts the execution of the thread. So you can see that extends is a keyword that extends the built-in thread class. So my thread extends the built-in thread class, and the run method is used to perform action for the thread. The start initializes or starts the execution of the thread by calling the run method on the thread. So as said in the previous slide, so here character value of A is first passed to the printchar method, and the number of times a character that is printed is 100, and it runs as a thread. In the same way, the second call to the function prints a character B for 100 number of times. So here start method performs the action or running of the thread. So in this slide you can see that the extends thread is the class that is used for creation of a thread. So here we are extending the built-in thread class thread, and here is a printchar method, built-in method that accepts a character x and number of times as n, and in run method we are going to display the character to print by calling system.out.print so many number of times, for that is the value of n. So here run method executes the performs the actions of the thread. Here is another example for the creation of a thread by extending the thread class. So here run method is used to perform the actions of the thread. So here a number value is printed a specified number of times as a thread. So here the printNum function takes a value of n, and the value of n is printed a specified number of times in the run method. So this is the first way of creating of threads by extending the built-in thread class. Java provides an alternate approach by using the runnable interface to implement and work on threads. So, in order to use a runnable interface to create and start a thread, you have to create a class that implements the runnable, and you have to provide a run method in the runnable class. In the same way, you have to create an instance or variable for the thread class and pass it to the runnable object to its constructor and call the start method to execute the thread. In this slide, there is an example that shows how to create a thread using runnable interface. So here, implements runnable allows you to work on threads, creation of thread, and start the execution of the thread. So the steps that is for the creation of thread using runnable interfaces, here myThread class implements a runnable interface, and there is a run method that is provided in the runnable class, and there is an instance or variable created for myThread class and which is passed to the thread class, built-in thread class, and th.thread starts the execution of the thread. In this slide, you can see the same example that was discussed in the previous slide, that is print character value using thread has been done using the runnable interface. So here our user defined class implements a runnable, and here you have a run method, and there is an instance of the class created for our user defined class which is passed to the thread class, and start method starts the execution of the thread. So in this slide you can see that run method displays the passed character value for a specified number of times. So this example demonstrates how to use runnable interface and implements keyword in order to execute or work on threads. So here printNum user defined class implements a runnable interface, and the run method displays a number for a specified number of times.